Parts of this story are based on true events. Title: Karen's Wake-Up Call. Fade in. Int. Starbucks, morning. A busy Starbucks in a suburban area. Customers chat, sip their drinks, and check their phones. Behind the counter, Marie, a young Haitian immigrant with a warm smile, works diligently. Enter Karen, 40s, entitled, smug, wearing oversized sunglasses, a flashy handbag, and an "America First" pin. She surveys the scene with disdain and walks up to the counter. Karen, smirking, wow, they'll let anyone work here these days. No wonder my coffee's been tasting like dirt. Marie remains professional, unfazed by the remark. Marie: good morning, ma'am. What can I get for you today? Karen scoffs, first of all, it's miss not ma'am. Second, I'll have a venti caramel macchiato, extra hot, no foam, and make it quick. Some of us have real jobs. Marie nods and begins making the drink. Karen watches impatiently, tapping her fingers on the counter. Karen, grumbling, I swear, Trump needs to round you all up already. Make America great again. Marie stiffens but keeps her focus on the drink. A few customers glance over, sensing tension. Marie: here's your drink, miss. That'll be $6.75. Karen snatches the cup and takes a sip. She immediately recoils in disgust. Karen, spitting, what is this? Are you trying to poison me? Marie: I followed your order exactly, miss. Karen: oh, so now you are talking back to me. Do you even have a green card? Marie takes a deep breath, trying to stay calm. The manager, James, 50s, composed, no nonsense, steps forward. James: ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Karen, excited, oh, I have to leave. What about her? You're letting this run your store. No wonder this place is going downhill. Marie stays silent, gripping the counter. Karen suddenly lunges, grabbing Marie's hair and yanking it violently. Karen: go back to Haiti, you. Before she can finish, Marie instinctively shoves Karen back. Karen stumbles into a display stand, knocking over coffee bags and tumbling to the ground. The entire cafe gasps. Customer number 1: oh my god. Call the police. Karen scrambles up, her face red with rage. Karen, screaming, I'm the victim here. SFX, sirens approaching. 2 police officers enter. Karen immediately points at Marie. Karen: arrest her. She attacked me. The officers exchange a look. James steps forward. James, offering his phone, we have security footage. You might want to check it first. The officers review the footage. Karen's confidence fades as she watches herself attacking Marie. Officer number 1, turning to Karen, ma'am, you're under arrest for assault and disorderly conduct. Karen's mouth drops open in shock. Karen, whining, me. No, you don't understand. I'm the American. She's the. The officers cuff her as she struggles. Karen, screeching, this is a setup. I want my lawyer. I'll have you all fired. The officers escort Karen out as the customers cheer. Marie stands in shock, James placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Marie, softly, I just wanted to do my job. James nods. James: and you did great, Marie. Fade to black. Text on screen: racism and violence have no place in our society. Treat service workers with respect. And now for our second story. Farmhouse Justice. A drama about one woman, one farm, and a whole lot of chickens. Fade in. EXT Country Road, day. A dusty blue pickup truck rolls down a winding country road. Andrea Carter, 30, strong-willed, independent, grips the wheel, eyes scanning the familiar but changed landscape. She slows as she passes cookie-cutter houses and manicured lawns. The last stretch of road opens up to her family's farm. A weathered farmhouse sits on 30 acres, a sharp contrast to the pristine suburban development around it. Andrea parks, steps out, and takes in the sight of her inheritance. EXT farmhouse, front porch, day. Andrea sifts through old mail left on a rusted table. One letter, with her father's handwriting, catches her eye. She opens it and reads. Dad, VO. Andrea, I know the HOA will come knocking. Don't listen to them. Our farm was here first. We're grandfathered in. Stand your ground. She exhales sharply, gripping the letter as a knock on the door sounds. EXT farmhouse, Front porch, day. Andrea opens the door to find Susan Parker, 50s, prim, overly friendly but condescending, the HOA president standing with a clipboard and a fake smile. Susan. Andrea. Welcome to the neighborhood. Just wanted to remind you that as part of the HOA. Andrea. Interrupts, holding up the letter. I'm not part of the HOA. My dad made sure of that. Susan's smile falters. She stiffens. Susan. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Andrea. No misunderstanding. This farm isn't in the HOA. Thanks for stopping by. Andrea shuts the door. Susan stares at it for a moment, then turns on her heel, marching back to her pristine white SUV. Int. Grocery store, day. Andrea pushes a cart, stopping in front of the egg section. She frowns at the $9 per dozen price tag. Andrea. This is ridiculous. Her eyes flick with realization. The farm. The chicken coop. EXT farm, chicken coop, montage. Andrea hauls wood and paint from her truck. She hammers new boards into place. She paints the coop red with white trim. She hangs a sign above the door, Carter Family Farm, EST 1921. EXT Tractor Supply Store, day. Andrea loads a box of fluffy chicks and bags of feed into her truck. She strokes one of the tiny birds with a smirk. Andrea. Not paying $9 a dozen when I can make my own. EXT Farm, chicken coop, night. The heat lamp glows inside the coop. The chicks peep, nestled in warm bedding. Andrea watches them, proud. EXT Farm, chicken coop, weeks later. The chicks have grown. Andrea opens the coop door. They rush out, pecking at bugs, scratching the dirt. One flaps onto the fence. Andrea. All right, go do chicken things. The chickens scatter across the property, but some wander into the neighboring HOA yards. EXT farmhouse, front porch, day. Knock. Knock. Andrea groans, opening the door. Susan stands there again, arms crossed. Susan. Andrea, you need to contain your chickens. The HOA. Andrea. Smirks. Still. Not. I and the HOA. Slam. The door shuts in Susan's face. Montage, the chicken war. Susan sends HOA violation letters. Andrea tosses them in the trash. Susan marches to Andrea's door. Andrea deadbolts it. Susan complains to neighbors. Andrea sells them eggs. EXT courthouse, day. Andrea stands before a judge while Susan smugly presents her case. Judge. Ms. Parker, Andrea Carter is not in the HOA. Case dismissed. Andrea smirks. Susan's face falls. EXT farm, night. The wind howls. A dark figure sneaks into the coop. They pour something into the feed. The figure slinks away. EXT farm, morning. Andrea steps outside, coffee in hand, and stops cold. Chickens lay motionless. A few struggle, gasping. Andrea. No. No, no, no. She kneels beside them, eyes wide with horror. Int. Vet's office, day. The vet examines a sick hen. He looks grim. Vet. This isn't bird flu. Someone poisoned them. Int. Farmhouse, night. Asterisk. Andrea pulls up footage from her trail camera. On screen, Susan Parker sneaking into the coop. Andrea's jaw tightens. Her hands clench into fists. EXT police station, night. Andrea storms in with the evidence. A cop leans back in his chair, unimpressed. Cop. It's a civil matter. Andrea stares, furious. EXT courthouse, day. Asterisk. Andrea stands before the judge again. This time, Susan looks less confident. Andrea. She killed my chickens. And she cost me over 1,400 dozen eggs. The judge does quick math on paper. Judge. That's $14,250. Susan pales. EXT farm, months later. Andrea stands beside a new chicken coop. Chickens roam freely. A roadside stand displays fresh farm eggs, $10/dozen. A line of HOA residents eagerly buy eggs. One woman bites into a fresh egg sandwich. Woman. So much better than store-bought. A new HOA president shakes Andrea's hand. New HOA president. Susan's gone. We'll leave you alone. Andrea smirks, collecting cash for another dozen eggs. Andrea. Sounds like a deal. Fade to black. The end. If you like these story, please click like and